togetherness and friendship. So this is something that comes from the Nike Museum, which is a very prestigious museum, actually the most prestigious museum in Greece after the Acropolis Museum. And it's something that comes from all of us, and it's something that I'm sure that you can wear when you visit Greece during our holidays. It's a scarf, and it's a piece of art. Thank you very much. The community center, we have the church, the Greek Orthodox Church of the Dormition of Mother of God. So actually, this is a nice icon from the church. This is it. Okay. We have not planned everything tonight, but it will go very smoothly. It's the Greek style. So, you know, for us, the Greeks, Socrates is the embodiment of wisdom. And I would like to give you my very, very good dear friend, Leo, a statue of Socrates. Just a reminder of our values, the one that you refer to. And at the same time, I would like to give Supreme Court Justice Maria Karakatsanis. She has always been a person of faith, and for us, the Greeks, faith counts a lot. So I would like to give her tonight the icon of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, with our thanks for the invitation.
To provide us with his readings.
Actually, I have prepared a speech for tonight, which seems to be rather long, so I will not make use of it. I will let my heart speak to you the way I've always been doing it with my compatriots. C'est un grand jour pour nous, le grec, et pour nous, le grec chrétien orthodoxe, pour notre foi et pour notre nation. C'est un jour de fête, c'est un jour de joie, c'est un jour de grand bonheur et d'honneur. And we honor tonight in dignity and good spirit, in solidarity, the very best values of our nation and of our faith. And we are very proud of these values. They are eternal. They help us go through in the most difficult times in our personal but also in our national history. So I want to be very brief tonight. This is the day that we would like to thank Canada for all its contribution to my country, but also to all of you, the ambassadors representing the globe. And I would like to thank you all because in our dark days, the Greek dark days, you have always been there to understand, to help us and to be on our side. Now as we are living these days back, I think it's time for me to acknowledge the presence and the contribution via our nation and our values of two very distinguished people that I would like to give the floor later on to express themselves, Vasi and Nikita. Actually, the name of Mr. Nick Nanos is Nikita Nanos. It's everybody knows him as Nick, but he corrected me. He said, Dimitri, it's Nikita Nanos. So this is I think the acknowledgement they will receive sums up all the values that we are honoring tonight, and that's why I will stop myself here. I've said everything I had to say in Montreal yesterday in a magnificent celebration. We're honored to have the Prime Minister, the government, the opposition, the leaders of all the parties and the Parliament. They were there, they were with us for many hours. I think the message is quite clear. We are thankful to Canada, we are thankful to you all. May God bless this country and may God bless Greece. So now I would like to give the floor to you, Margie, and you take it from here in order to move on with the two distinguished guests of ours. Thank you.
So this evening, we are honored to have both of you here. And in recognition of your outstanding achievements to the everlasting Hellenic values and the faith of our fathers, we express our most sincere pride and deepest gratitude to Ms. Vasi Kapellos and Mr. Nikitas Nanos. Ms. Vasi Kapellos is a political journalist, and she's host of Power and Politics on CBC News Network. And Mr. Nikita Nanos is the Chief Data Scientist and founder of Nanos Research Companies and Chair of the Board of Governors for Carleton University. For both, your commitment to fundamental principles, coupled with your passion for truth and freedom of expression, which makes you both a bright light of democracy, ideal born in Greece, our motherland. With a conviction that excellence for both of you is not an act, but a habit, and that you will continue to serve society as a beacon of hope, of vision, and integrity, on this symbolic day, we wholeheartedly bestow to both of you this acknowledgement as a token of our most profound appreciation. Thank you. Και σαν νότερα.
Some gigs tonight, we want to make it a celebration. It's not a normal, diplomatic national day for sure. I'm sure that my colleagues here will be wondering, what the heck is this happening here? But it's something happening because we see it this way. So actually, apart from being Canadians, they are also proud Greeks. And so I thought that as ambassador, I have the right to give them something which is something which shows their origin, and actually it's the Greek flag. So the kiss for my gift, this I give you the flag, and I've known that we have always served the truth and the principles stemming. They have always served, principles of our motherland with dignity in another country. How this is important in life. So, Nick, I think it goes here. I make some mistakes that comes from my part, and when you improvise, you have to do it, quite naturally, because this is the way I see it, and I'm so happy. So this is for you. Now, what else we have here? For Mr. Nanos, it's a statue of Aristoteles. He has been the teacher of Alexander the Great, so he's somebody, a philosopher. His ideas influence the modern world. This is for you. And for Vasi, I think she always reminded me of goddess Athena. I think now the Archbishop will tell me, Dimitri, you've gone a bit too far. You have your own gifts as well. You have to honor these people. So we have to give something that you
beautiful icon of the donation of the Holy Mother, and it goes to Basil. This also is the icon of the donation of the Holy Mother, and it goes to Nikitas. It says Nick here, but we were told that he is Nikitas, and therefore I want him to be Nikitaras at the same time.
Thank you, Your Eminence. And at this moment, we would like to ask Ms. Capellos if you can kindly give us a reading.
Thank you so much for such a kind welcome and for your patience this evening. I was a little late to arrive because I had to come straight from the show. I want to start off by acknowledging the presence of a few people here. First off, Metropolitan Archbishop Sotirios. It's wonderful to see you. Thank you very much for coming. To ambassadors and members of the diplomatic community, Supreme Court Justice Karakatsanis, who's a big role model for me. Minister McKenna, who I think has left, but who graciously appeared tonight, but also on my show quite often. Senator Gousakos, it's great to see you, and thank you for your wonderful words. And I think Mayor Jim Watson was maybe going to be here, so I want to also acknowledge him because he has also graciously appeared on our show as well. I also want to thank some people who traveled to be here this evening. Father Ted Porphyris, our priest, my priest at St. George's in Toronto, who's always been so warm and welcoming to me. My aunt, Mary Singeris, who led the community choir and Philoptikos in London, and who came all the way from London just for the evening tonight. And of course, my father, Nick Capellos, who also traveled from Toronto just for the evening to come here this evening. My fiance Frank is here along with Emily and Cooper, and I look forward to being married in the Greek Orthodox Church later this year. As I was saying, this is an immense honor for me to be recognized by this wonderful community and in such excellent company as, now I know, Nikitas Nanos. Nick Nanos. It is especially significant to me that this night is being held in honor of Greek independence for a few reasons. The church first played such a central role in preserving Greek culture while it was oppressed by the Ottomans. Second, the love of other countries in helping Greece fight for independence, something that shows us the power of principle. And third, the role of women, who did not offer just mere moral support, but in some cases actually fought on the front lines and gave their lives. Therefore important to me personally because I play a very small part in trying to uphold what Greeks invented and then fought so courageously to preserve democracy. And journalism. I do it, which is a part of democracy. I do it with the church in my heart, an ability to pick myself up when I fail and keep pushing, and because of all the women before me who fought so my life would be easier and the opportunities would be greater. That includes my mom, my yaya, and also my papu, who came to this country with no guarantee of even their survival. They and my father worked non-stop, which I believe is another Greek trait. I'm sure all of you understand that here, to provide a life for us, their kids and their grandkids. When I say work hard, I mean it. My papu worked from the time he was 14, survived the Depression, ran his own business, and my yaya worked there every single day and raised 4 kids at the same time. My father and my mother ran their own business, started it from scratch, worked day and night to provide for me and my sisters, and my dad is still working nonstop. In fact, he left straight from the office to come here. I would never be here without the sacrifices my grandparents and my parents made. I owe them every single ounce of my success, and I'm so lucky my dad emotional, and it is because it's rare that you get the opportunity to thank the people who did everything so that I could be lucky enough to be here tonight. As I said, I owe them every ounce of my success, and I'm really lucky my dad can be here. I wish my mom and my yaya and papu could too. I hope I've made them proud, and I hope that every time you turn on CBC at 5 o'clock, I make all of you and the Greek community across Canada proud too. It is always, as Senator Bouzakis said, in the back of my mind, and I'm so proud to be able to represent our community on TV. I'd like to close by thanking Father Alex, Mr. Vankiotis, and especially Ambassador Azamopoulos for this honor. He has been nothing but gracious, warm, and welcoming to me from the second that he assumed this role, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you to those three and to everyone here for thinking of me tonight. Thank you for treating me so warmly, and though I live far from my home in Toronto, thank you for giving me a home away from home. Σας ευχαριστώ για την τιμή απόψε.
Thank you very much, Ms. Capellos, and thank you for being a role model for all the generations to come. And I would like to ask Mr. Nikita Manos.
Thank you. Vashi, I think you're going to be able to add another accomplishment as a journalist. You'll be able to say you're the only person ever to make Polster Nick Naus cry. Σας ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ για τα ωραία λόγια σας και για την εκτίμηση. Thank you for that very kind introduction and for the kind words tonight. I'm humbled and honored to be here this evening to accept this recognition. I'm also honored to share the stage with Vashi, whom I respect and admire for the very important and great work that she does as one of Canada's top journalists. I must say that among my first decisions for me tonight was to think about whether I would do my short talk in Greek, English, or as my mother and I refer to it, Gringlish, which is what we text each other, which is half Greek, half English, and totally unintelligible. I thought about how to use my 5 minutes, what I would say with my mother, my family, my wife, my kids here, what I would say with our community here together and in front of your eminence. Justice Karakatsanis, Ambassador Azamopoulos, Father Alex. We could just keep going on, but I'm going to stick to 5 minutes, but everyone here. It's a very long list, but I'd like to tell you a story. This is not just my story, but this is our story. It's a story of why I love Greece and why I love our country, Canada. So this started a little over a month ago when I was sitting at my desk and I was expecting to have a coffee with Ambassador Azamopoulos, and I heard in my office the booming voice of Father Alex. So you imagine you're at work, you're not expecting that your priest is going to show up, and then it's like, okay, I know that voice, Father Alex. The good news is, I knew that I hadn't done anything wrong, so it's like, okay. And you know, Father Alex has the best and most distinctive voice in the Greek community in Ottawa. So I'm there with Father Alex, and the ambassador, and along with the ambassador was Tony, president of the Hellenic community. And as I listened to them talk about this gathering, I started thinking about my father, Dimitri Nanos, who passed away at the young age of 47. And my grandfather, Yanni Tsakidis, he's from Tripoli. We were talking with other Tripoli Choitis. He was Tsakiroyan. And I also thought of my godfather, Peter Zagouras, who some of you know, who lived in Belleville, Ontario. You know, many times our parents and grandparents and the people who love us give us advice, and it might take days or even years to fully understand those wise words. And also, some people are people of few words, but their actions speak louder than words. You know, it was a summery night in Trenton, so I was born in Trenton, Ontario. More than 40 years ago, my father actually liked to sit outside. We had a side yard. In the side yard were some flowers. He had some varelia, he grew tomatoes. And I remember, and I was 13 years at the time, I remember sitting with him, and he told me, the greatest gift I have for you is your name and your Greek heritage. Protect them. Never dishonor them. So that's what I learned from the Nanaiko side of the family. And as a 13-year-old, and to this very day, it's this thought that has had a profound influence on me and how I live my life. That our greatest gift from our parents is our heritage and our name. Σκέφτομαι πολύ τον παππού μου αυτές τις μέρες. I also think of my grandfather. As a teenager, I spent many summers in Greece with my grandparents in Tripoli. We'd go to the beach in Astros, we'd hang out with cousins and aunts and uncles. My grandfather was a good, quiet man. He got along with everyone. He loved his family, his country, and his faith. And for his whole adult life, without exception, along with many others who were committed to the faith, he helped build a monastery outside of Scorchinu, Ambelaki. We used to go there. And I'll tell you, Your Eminence, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning for morning prayers was very strengthening for a teenager. I say that with respect. Because I am afraid of you. But my grandfather, in a positive way, I'm afraid. Sorry. I'm going to stop here. It's unscripted. So, but he was also, my grandfather was passionate, and like many Greeks, about his country and about politics, and from him I learned to love my patrida, Greece, and to love my faith. His actions spoke louder than words. And so it was my godfather, Ononosmo, Peter Zagouras. He was a proud family man, served his community, was a passionate Greek. He loved Canada, and he served his church. He made sure that I was always ready for church, especially at Easter time. He initiated me into the order of Ahepa. He was there for me, quietly being a role model. Your Eminence, you know better than anyone here how he was there for his community, his faith, and for you as a friend. He was a good man. And I can't speak about who brought me here without talking about my mother, a young single mother, and she raised my brother John and I and made sacrifices for us to have a chance to have a better life. And when you think about these stories, the stories of the people who brought me here to this place tonight, they are the stories that many of us here share. We are on the same path and have many of the same experiences. It was later, as I thought about these things to honor our heritage, our faith, our country, that I realized that their words and deeds were about, as Leo said, philotimo. It's a hard word to translate, but packed with positive values. And as many of you know, it is a uniquely Greek virtue. It can mean respect and walking in the right path, a way of life, doing the right thing, duty to one's family, faith, community, country, duty to help. We see philotimo when, back in Greece, just recently, Greeks welcome refugees on their shores with a generosity of spirit and compassion. No questions are asked, no orders given, but the Greeks stand up and do what is right. This is not just a Christian thing to do, it is a Greek thing to do. I firmly believe that we are tested every day as to how much philotimo we have, ranging from just saying a simple hello as we walk down the street and treating everyone with respect and dignity, through to coming to help a stranger in need. And because of our heritage, because we believe in philotimo, we are rich. We're very fortunate to live in Canada. I think of my family's journey, which is the same journey of many, many Canadians and many of us here. So think of it this way. Although I was born in Canada, I did not learn how to speak English until I went to school.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. I'm still working on the English. Canada is a place where I built a wonderful family and a great life. I'm a proud Greek and a proud Canadian. What country other than Canada could the sons and daughters of immigrants, many with nothing, build great lives where we can embrace both Canada and Greece? I believe that Canada as an idea is a country which openly, honestly, and respectfully encourages our heritage and a diversity of people. Because of our Greek heritage and because we believe in Philokimo, we are rich, and I'd like to add something to that. Canada is a richer place because of Greek Canadians. I humbly accept this recognition, but do so on behalf of my family, my parents, my grandfather, great-grandparents, everyone who carried me here today. And to quote the philosopher Thales, Philokimo to the Greek is like breathing. A Greek is not a Greek without it. He might as well not be alive. I believe that we are driven by Philokimo because we love and honor our family, our faith, our community, and our two patridas, Greece and Canada. And if there's one thought I'd like to leave with you, I believe we are blessed to live in Canada, and I think Canada is blessed to have us all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nanos. Your Excellency?
As we approach to the end, I would like to acknowledge, to thank two more people. The one will stay with us for the years to come. He has been an inspiring leader, an innovative personality. He changed the perspective of the Greek community, and he helped me very much as ambassador. The other one is a colleague of ours in the diplomatic community, and this person is going to leave us very, very soon. But while she was here, in the very difficult times for Greece, like the fires last year, she stood up and she supported me with all her heart. And this is something I'm not going to forget. Because this is what diplomacy is for. To show solidarity and to build bridges in the darkest times of somebody, of a nation, of us all. So I will start with the one who is going to stay here with us. And this is the president of the Greek community, Mr. Tony Vanikiotis. What you've been experiencing tonight is the first time actually that this happens here in Ottowa, in the nation's capital. It's not easy to do. This is a small community of 5,000 people with an overall Greek community of 350,000 people in Canada. Tony, thank you very much, and I think you deserve, with all my heart, to give great the people surrounding you who have been exceptionally kind for us all, and this is something that you fully deserve. And I want the Greek community to support the presidency, the presidium, the executive committee, and the president to fulfill their objectives, because these are objectives of us all. Thank you very much.
Bravo, Tony.
The last person I want to thank tonight is a colleague of mine, a colleague of ours, an extremely nice person who is going to leave this country to become the ambassador of her country to the United Nations very, very soon. She's kind, she showed extreme spirit of cooperation with a small embassy like ours, and we are thankful to her for her spirit and for her humanity. And we offer her the icon of Mother of God, wishing her that her new post is to become a minister in her country. Madam Kelly Craft, could you please approach us? And this is food and nice drinks from Greece, nice wine, nice things that we brought from our motherland to all of you. Thank you very much for being here with us tonight. May God bless you all, and thank you, Zealand family.